Right, well, welcome back. Welcome back to yet another video from Who Else Spell the UCAT. Right, okay, before we continue, please, this video might be useless to you if you haven't watched the previous version of it or the previous part of it, where we are trying to crack questions on quantitative reasoning. Right, no matter, and in which I talk about, so I see people, if you want to do quant section and smash the UCAT quant section, you should be looking for no less than 700 as your score. Right, competition is intense these days, where quite a lot of universities are looking at your UCAT score, quant score, decision making, and so on. Another question which people ask: one of the most commonly asked question is, what score should I be looking for to crack the UCAT? Well, bluntly, to tell you the truth, anything less than 690, forget about it. Right, it will be a challenge. Anything above 700, I guarantee you will get a spot. You will definitely, without a doubt, hands down, you will get a call for an interview. Right, so your average score, I'm talking about average score, by the way. I'm not talking about the total score. I'm talking about average UCAT score, which is per section. And every subsection has a target score, which I talk about in my courses. Every subsection, what is that? I'm just sharing it with you without any cost involved, which is you should be aiming for, in the UCAT section, minimum score of 27 out of the 36 questions. Minimum for you to have anything near a chance of 700 score out of 900. UCAT quant section, every subsection, which is verbal, DM, decision making, and quant, is out of 900. So if you want to stand a chance 700, UCAT is your game. Righty? Okay, and so is this one. So secondly, it is all, I can't say skill timing, but it's a lot about strategy. People, please stop doing the GCSE styles of questions, GCSE ways of problem solving. Sadly, it's not your fault. UCAT solutions are very GCSE like, med-entry questions very GCSE like. If you follow those ways, I hate to say it, but that would dim your hit ratio. We talked about, again, please refer to the last video where I talked about hit ratio, number of questions which you attempt. Ready? Without further ado, I'm back on where we left in the last video. I believe we were trying to crack, which was, I think so, it was section number 4. Right, section 4 it is. Right, section 4, and let's see, we did till first 5, 7, 8 questions, so 5, 6. All right, let's start with question 6. Looks like it was question number 6 it was. Ready? Okay. Not this. I'm on quantitative reasoning. Okay, quantitative reasoning. All right. So let's keep scrolling. Right. Balloon flights. Oh yes, I remember we did that question. Let's scroll down. Gotta scroll down. Here we go. So let's start with question number 5. Right. Question number 5. Here I come. Right, ready or not, here I come. Right, okay. So, what's the plan? How many stores does the distribution center serve? Right, in order to find the number of stores distribution center serve, it's got distribution center 50-mile radius, blah, 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 blah. Right, I think so, we've done this question. Right, so in this case, I just need to add them up. Right, there are 2 ways to add them up. First way is last digit strategy. Right, last digit strategy would not be effective in this case because there are 3 numbers which add up, which have the same last digit, zilch, 0, 0, 0. Right, but still trying to do it. That way I can eliminate the options. So last digit 3 and 5, 8. Ready? Last digit 3, last digit 5, 8. 8 and 6, 14. 14, 4. 4 and 6, 0. So, sorry, can't use that. That means easily you have eliminated B and D. Right, it has to be A, C, or E. Now, strategy number 2, how do I add it? When you add it, as I told you, add them up in clusters. Right, 15 and 3, 18. 18 and, I think so it was 26, 44. So I've got 44, 44, 36, 80. Oh, bravo, 80 it is. Ready? So that's option C is what we're looking at. So simple, don't need to redo it. Option C, just checking. That's a simple addition. You don't necessarily need a calculator for this question. Right, moving on. Let's see how many we can do. Right, okay. What is the most common distance? Most common distance, talking about mode, most common, highest frequency, 26, 20, 21, 30. Easy peasy. Right, 30, C is done. Vamos. Right, next one. How many stores, alright, been it. How many stores are 35 miles? 35, 35, 30, 30, 31, 40. So I'm looking at 35 miles. So how many 35 miles? 35 miles. 32, 40 is 20. I don't know how much 31. Oh, because I don't know means that's right. Can't tell. Ready? Because, by the way, you know, 31 to 40, you know, are 20. But how many of them, out of the 20 we're looking at, how many of the 20 that we're looking at are from 35? Absolutely no clue, hence can't tell. Ready? Okay, moving on to our next question. Next question is... all right, here we go. Bin it. Right, so what percentage of the stores are 31 miles? What percent of the stores are 31 miles or more? 31 miles or more, that means I'm looking at this, 2116, which is 36. So I'm looking at 36, has to be a multiple of 9. Can't be this, can't be this, that's the next strategy, can't be this. That means answer has to be C and D. Look at that. Within the first 10 seconds of reading the question, I'm shortlisted, has to be a multiple of 9. Right, so what do I need to do? There are 36 out of, second tip to remember. For a question like this, you have to have the ability to recollect. What was that? No more than verbal reasoning, as we talk about verbal reasoning. In verbal reasoning, we go a lot in detail. What is verbal? Every subsection is testing your ability and your brain in its ability to do something else. Verbal reasoning, what is it testing your skill on? Your ability to absorb, read, recollect information. Or in the order of read, absorb, recollect information. So 3 things is what they are testing you on. Right, so 36 out of 80 is what we got. How do you know it's 80? Remember, there was a question we did, right, previous question, where we had to find out the number of stores, where we got an answer of 80. We had to eliminate last 0. Oh, there you go, 80. So I know the total number. 36 out of 80 has to be 45. Mental maths. Right, okay, so where were we? Oh, it's not moving. Can't move. Yeah, it's going on. Right, here we are. So 36 out of 80 is 45. Right, how do we know? Right, I did it in my head. 36 out of 80 is 45, or 36 divided by 4 is 90, or 9. 9 and divided by 2, 40, and then another one. So 45, otherwise pick up the good old calculator. 36 divided by 80, bang, 45. If you see here, I'm not bothered about timesing it by 100. So that's it. That's another strategy, which is cutting down on, sorry, there's way too many strategies. That's why one simple YouTube video would not suffice, in which, because the strategies are way too many for you to keep in mind. So that's why I offer you the course. Again, apologies, might sound business-like. Right, okay, so 45% it is. So again, that strategy, so 36 over 80, 45, for once at least they're done our way. Right, okay. Oh, for once we're using the GCSE way. Ready? Okay, but when we talk about the multiple, wasn't the GCSE way. Right, moving on is thinking. Right, taking long. Oh, the pie charts, a pie chart question. Here we go. Right, a survey was conducted, okay, so that's year 1, year 2, among different groups of adults to determine the most popular web browser. So I've got ABCD in year 2. This pie chart is about year 2. There were 6,000 people, something to do with 6,000. In the group results in the pie chart, each adult, so year 2, 45% of the adults, 45% of the adults have selected browser D. So 4 in 5 do have 180. So that means, if you see here how I'm just thinking out loud, 45%, right? Browser D. Browser D is how much? Browser D, I see, is 4%. 45 times 4, 180. Again, as I say to you in the courses and anything else, you have to have the ability, prerequisite is if you want this to be beneficial. The first thing I ask is 2 things. Your ability to do mental maths, at least know the tables, if not till 25, know it till at least 15. Right, so 45 times by 4, or break it down, 45 times 2, 90, 92, 180. So 45 times by 4 times by 6,000. Right, what have I got? And then he says there's an 8% increase divided by reverse percentage. Anything with 0 zeros, bang, option B. Right, let's slow it down now. That's too fast. Right, 45% of the adults. He said 45% of the adults who surveyed use browser D. Right, so that means 4%, you can do 0.04 times by 6,000 times by 0.45. It is 108 people here. It is these 108 people who represent these adults in the age group of 18 to 24. Now, there was an 8% increase in the number of people in this age group, 8% increase from year 1. Oh, how many people were in year 1? Second tip to remember, which is if he's given you year 2, he's talking about the old previous one, you do reverse percentages. Divide by 1.08. Why did you do 1.08? By the way, 100 is our answer. There it is. Right, why do I do divide by 8? Oh, there's a multiplier. So way too many tricks and tips in this one. This is an 8% increase. 8% increase means your multiplier will going to be 1.08. Right, summarizing the tips and the tricks in this question. So first thing, your ability to cut down on keystrokes. If you are still climbing up the slope of mental maths. All you'll do is 44 times by 4 times by 6,000. Watch. That's all I did. Where do you got 45? 45% of the 4% of the 6,000. I also talk about another tip, which is consolidated computing, which is you don't need to. Some people would end up doing, okay, let me find out 4% of 0.04 times by 6,000. Once you do that, you will end up saying, oh, then they will write it down. Oh, that ends up becoming 240. And then they said, all right, 240 is D. Out of this, then they will work out how much is 0.45. 0.45, they will say, that's actually equal to 108. All right, got it. Then again, they go back again, which is do algebra 1.0. You get the idea. 1.08x or worse, they'll find out 8%. That is not how UCAT needs to be done. So what's the speedy way? Well, all I did here was I just did multiplication. I'm not bothered about my working. 45 times by 6,000. Sorry. 45 times by 4 times by 6,000. Whatever I got, divide by 1.08. Consolidated learning. I'm not using a pen or a paper. Everything is done in the brain. 1,000. 100 is my answer. Anything with too many zeros. Bravo. B is the answer. Absolutely horrible way of doing it. I apologize for saying it, but that's not how it should be done, and that's the reason why some people sometimes struggle with this. Ready? Okay, here we go again. Right, moving on to my next question. Ready? Okay, bin it. So that was a strategy of doing it. Right, okay, where's the cursor? Right, next question. In year 2, how many more adults, apologies, in year 2, that's year 2. How many more adults selected browser D and B? So this is B, this is C. Right, 15 and 25, that's 5%. 5%, 5 times 5% of what? 6,000. 5 times 6, 30. 30 or 300? No, it has to be 300. If you see here, mental maths again. So 20% take away 15%. Do I have 5%? 5 times 6, 30. Has to be one of these two. Oh no, that's 6,000. 5% of 6,000. If you want to, 0.05 times by 6,000, 300. Bang, bravo. So that was the answer. Boom. It is 300. Oh yes, it is indeed 300. Ready? So you finding out percentages. You are not going to do what some people might end up doing. Let's find out how much is 20% of 6,000. When they do that 20% of 6,000, they might end up saying 1,200. Mental maths people. Right, then they end up doing, all right, let me find out how much is 15% of, how about 15% of 6,000? When they do 15% of 6,000, they say, oh, that's 900. All right, when they write it down, there should be less of pen work. It's more of brain work. Take away these two. Oh, 300. Bravo, there we go. That took so long. Nothing less than 20 seconds should take to solve this question. Moving on, cracking away on to my next question. Right. Okay, so where are we going? Right, in year 2, what is it? Range. Range is high, takeaway, low. In year 2, what is the range of analysis of a browser? Range means highest, takeaway, low. A looks like 45% the highest. I don't know about E. E doesn't look like. If you look at the area or the angle subtended by D, I'll repeat. If you look at the area of D, that looks minimal, right? You don't necessarily need to find out E. E looks definitely bigger percentage than E looks bigger percentage than D, right? So I got 45 take away 45 take away 4. I got 41%. 41 times by 6, 246. Bang, 246. Any option with 246? Again, you don't need that. You don't really need a calculator for this, right? So what I'm doing here is 41%. You can do 0.41 times by 6,000, 2460. Or you don't necessarily need the numbers. 41 times by 6. Any option with 246, you're choosing that 2460. Ready? Now, just before we double check, don't want to goof it up, just checking how much is E. Right, to find out E, everything should add up to 100. 20 and 15, 35. 35, 45, 80. 80 plus 4. 80 plus 4 is 84. E has to be 16, right? As we knew it, E has to be 16%. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, so we were right. Answer has to be 41 or multiple of 41. 41 times 6, 246. That's all you need to do. Just tip, number, whatever. 41 times by 6, 246. Any option. You're not trying to get the actual complete answer. Half-baked answers would do. And looking for which option is there. Ready? Moving on. Bravo. Next question. Oh, did I check it? Oh, I'm just going to check it if that's the one. Don't want to get embarrassed. Oh, indeed it is. Right, so D it is. Right, moving on to option D. Right, done. Moving on to my next question. Right, next question as quickly as we can. What are we looking at? How many adults surveyed? Browser E. Oh, wait a minute, we just found out browser E. Again, the same trick. If I talked about it, your ability to recollect information. So we did. If you remember that just a moment ago, we found out how much was E. We said 20 and 5, 35, 35, 45. So 35 plus 45, 80, 84, 16. 16 times 6, 96. Anything 96? Bravo. That's ability to do mental maths again. So 0.16 times by 6,000. Oh, 16 times 6, 960. Bravo. That's the one. Can't be. That's easy. So pie charts, easy question. You should never skip it. There we go. That's easy. Ready? So not trying to attack the whole question. You're just doing half-baked, getting the digits right, then not bothered about zeros or decimals. Right. Been it. Moving on to flying away. The next question. Right. Okay. All right. Okay. Where we got? Slowing down. Right. The graph shows that the percentage change in the number of 4 different tea bags in year 2 compared to year 1. Year 2 compared to year 1. So these are in percentage changes. All right, so that's 40% more than year 1, 15% more than. All right, trying to get the idea is to get the graphs right. Your the knowledge of what the graph is all about. That's the first challenge. The percentage change for ordinary tea bags is missing. Okay, yeah, we see that it's missing. In year 1, this is year 2. So year 1, the number of green tea bags was 30,000. Ready? Got it. So green in year 1 was, I'm just writing on 30k at the top. Ready? Okay. In year 1, the highest number of tea bags sold were ordinary. This is the highest is ordinary. And the lowest number were green. Okay. The range of different type of tea bags. Range is high, takeaway, low. Total number is this. So I've got high takeaway. In year 1, how much greater than the median of the tea bags in year 1? All right. So that means in year 1, total number of the total was sold. That is in year 1, by the way. This figure is for year 1. Righty, okay. High takeaway low is equal to what? 26250, he's told me. How much is, who's the highest, by the way? The highest is, he's told me a moment ago, that's ordinary 1. Ability to not reread is another strategy. Please try not to reread that. So ordinary tea bags altogether were the highest ones. The lowest ones were green. Green is equal to 26250. How much was the green? Green was, we just told you, 30,000. 30,000 is what we got. Yeah, then 30,000 is equal to 26250. Agreed? 30,000 is equal to, because we told green is 30,000, 26250. Do the maths. Or, which is ordinary ones, the ordinary ones will be equal to, get this guy on the other side, 56,250. 56,250. 56,250 if you want to take a guess. If you really want to take a guess, you could see any option with maybe. All right, I'm going to get ahead of ourselves. So I've got how much greater is the median than the number of ordinary tea bags sold in year 1. In year 1, ordinary tea bags and the median of the tea bags. Median means the middle ones. Middle ones in high to low, low to high. So this is the highest, this is the lowest, so that means these two, divide by 2. How much were these two? 92. 92,000 divided by, this is 92,000. 92,000 divided by 2, 46,000. Straight away. Oh, that's 46,000 is what we've got. Oh, yes. If it is 46,000, 56 take away 46, 10,000. Bravo, that's it. Oh, that's 46,000. So for 10,000, 250 is what we get. Option A. Ready? Option A it is. Option A it is. Boom. So that is correct. Right, moving on. So what tip did we learn here? The tip, again, was your ability to do mental maths. So what was the idea of how to crack this question? Right, you should know it. We take number of tea bags, range of different types. Range is high, takeaway, low. Again, key thing to know, apologies, to high, takeaway, low. Highest was ordinary ones, lowest were the green ones. So do we have a total of 92,000? 26,250 is what we've got. Number of median tea bags. So median was the middle one, fruit and speciality. Fruit and herbal and speciality. 92,000 divided by 2. Right, these are the two middle ones, which is second plus third one, even number divided by 2, 46. Ready? Okay, yes, right. Moving on to my next. I'll try to cover as many questions as we possibly can. Right, so in case you think so, I'm just rushing it. Not really, I'm not. The number of specialty tea bags, the number of in year 2, the number of specialty tea bags was 54. How many more specialty tea bags was sold in year 2 than year 1? I need to find out how much in year 1. Because I'm going back, reverse percentages. If you remember, that's one of the tricks to know. Sorry again, I'm trying as much as we can. I'm just sorry, wait a minute. Divided by 1.08, 50,000. 50,000 take away 4,000, 54,000. So in my calculator, I got 50,000. 50,000, 54 take away 50, 4. Oh, 4,000. Option C is what we've got. right? So one more time. So it's a number of speciality. So I've got 8% increase. All right, if 8% increase, my multiplier has to be 1.08. Ready? In year one, second tip. If you're going year one, you need to do reverse percentage, which is you do 54 divided by 1.08, 54k, which is 000, divided by 1.08. We end up getting 50,000. Ready? 50,000 take away 54,000, 4%. Bravo, that's the answer. Let's see if you're good. Boom, we are. 4,000 it is. There are other ways of also doing this question, but let's move on. Right. In the course videos that I do, I don't really rush this much because I've got ample time. Right, I'm trying to stuff everything in 30-minute window or less than 30 minutes. Right, okay, moving on to my next question. So what is it? How many green tea bags? Green. Was sold in year 2. In year 2, that's 40% more. Multiplies 1.4. 1.4 times by... How many? Green. 1.4 times by 3, 42. Or 14 times 3 is 42. Any option? 42. Bang. Oh, there we go. 10-second question. 42. How quickly? 40%. Yeah, it's got 40%. Multiplies 1.4. And 14 times 3, mental maths again. 42. Now, do you see how quickly you end up rushing through it, skimming through it? Just like you're just skimming over the surface. Right, just like in tennis. All right, anyways, right, moving on, or surfing. Right, 42,000, D, option D was right. Boom. Right, okay. I think so, that's about it. We'll just, let's finish one more question, then we call it a day. That's the end of this video. Right, okay, here we go again. In the mean percentage change in the sale of tea bags per type of this one, the mean percentage sale of tea bags per type, how many were there? The mean was 10.75. 10.75 times by 4, do have 43. 43. Then he says, what was the percentage change of the ordinary? Percentage change of the ordinary. I need to. 43 is the sum of all of them. Is the sum of all of them. Is the mean. Is the sum of all of them. Now can I say I'll have to take away? Ready? I have to take away 40, 15, 55. 55, 18, 63. I take away 63. Oh, minus 20. Bravo. Minus 20. Bang. B it is. So one more time. In here, B, bravo, B it is. So what did he say? That's the mean. What was the mean? 10.75. You times it by 4. You times it by 4, you end up getting 43. That was the adding up the sum of all these. So adding this one, this one, this one, and the unknown, which is X. And then take away from this. Take away 40 plus 15, 55, 8, 63, minus 20. Ready? That's about it. Thank you very much. Hopefully you like this video. We'll keep coming up with more videos. Till then, ciao, ciao. Thanks very much. In case you're interested in any of those courses, please feel free. Again, please feel free to drop me an email or look at the website, builducat.co.uk. Bye for now. Ciao, ciao.